What's up, guys? Tim Little, Matt Allen. Welcome back to TacticalBassin. Today's video, buyer's guide number 2. We're talking about $200 combos. You know, $100 rod, $100 reel, the best gear at this price point. Let's go.
So this is buyer's guide number 2. If you guys missed yesterday, buyer's guide number 1 was $100 rod and reel combos. And we know some of you missed it because it started on a Sunday.
Right.
This time of year, when we do buyer's guides, they go 7 days a week. So you don't want to miss them. We pack in as much information in a short amount of time as we possibly can. So today is $200 combos, tomorrow is $300, the next day is $400, and on we go. You want to kick us off?
Yeah, the whole point of these buyer's guides is to share with your loved ones, right? We're all tackle junkies. We all want the correct gear for the holiday season. So now these videos, you can share them with your family, your friends, your loved ones to make sure you get the tackle that you want.
Now don't worry, if you're one of those people who just doesn't have any loved ones, they'll also help you choose the right gear for you too, because
True.
we are all tackle junkies.
True. Yeah, I'll start off. I'm gonna go with this combo right here. Again, $100, $200 combos, right? So it could be a $120 rod, $80 reel, just in that window. First combo is gonna be the Bass X. Now, specifically spinning, St. Croix has been known really around the north, right, for the most part, and it's just kind of venturing out to the west coast. Started seeing more and more of it. We've got to fish more and more of it, of the lines, and really blown away with a lot of their stuff. But the Bass X line is an awesome rod at that price point. It's really cool. They got technique specific stuff going on. They got swim bait rods, but more specifically, before I get on a tangent, let's talk about the spinning rod. We went kind of couple spinning and a couple casting just to kind of help simplify for you guys and give you guys just a few different options, not too many. But this is actually a 610 model, but this is an awesome all-around spinning finesse rod. You know, your Texas rigs, your weightless Senkos, drop shot, all that type of stuff can be fished on that. Paired up, this is the Daiwa. This is the BG 2000. Very, very smooth reel, especially at this price point. As we talked about yesterday in yesterday's video, this is kind of the video that we used to start off with, because this is the video that opens up a lot more options for rods and reels quality-wise. And when you start spending a little bit more money on your reel, you get a lot more longevity, and you can just feel it's so much more smooth. This one actually you can back reel on it if you're a guy that likes to back reel light line. But this combo right here, if you're looking to get a nice, really good $200 spinning combo, this is a good way to start.
My choice for spinning is this guy right here. This is the Shimano SLX paired up with the Shimano Noski. Now that is a combo that we talked about last year, but not this Noski. The Noski was completely updated in 2021, and I am really, really happy with the new version. It is incredibly smooth, incredibly comfortable. It's got a ton of power. It is a very strong, very lightweight reel that I've been very impressed with. Completely changed the graphic on it. It had some gold on it before, now it's a completely silver reel, but I really like this overall combo. The SLX line itself has a bunch of different models. As Tim mentioned, this is that jump. $100 rod and reel combos. In all fairness, there are more options than there used to be.
Yeah.
A lot more, but nowhere near like the $200 mark. $100 rod, $100 reel just opens up doors to refine your fishing and get some very specific rods. Now you can still grab a 7-foot medium and it will do virtually everything, but you have the option for those detailed things. And in the video description, we will link every single model, rod and reel. We'll also give you our favorite models within that. So for SLX, we like this model. For Bass X, that model, to really help you guys narrow it down as you're trying to make selections for how you want to spend your money on gear this year.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, spending a lot of time at talking to all the different companies and stuff. It seems like this price point was a target for a lot of the companies. They realize there's a lot of newer fishermen getting into the sport, and they want to create the nicest stuff, bring the nicest stuff to the market in that price point. So there's a lot more products coming to the market, but the Fury, I mean, we've been talking about this lineup for several years. Dobbins Fury, specifically these are the spinning rods. Matt will talk about the casting rods here in a second, or maybe I will.
Maybe you will.
Maybe I will. But the Dobbins Fury line, for the longest time, was the staple in that price point.
Right.
You know, a lot of technique-specific rods. Again, I'm trying to limit it down. In the video description, we'll link some of our favorites, but the 702 spinning rod, it's another great universal finesse rod, something you can use all of your different techniques, your light finesse stuff. Paired up, this is actually the Shimano Sahara. You know, put some braided line on there, a good fluorocarbon leader, and you have a really, really nice, comfortable, easy to fish spinning combo.
I'm glad you mentioned braid, because some of these are spooled up with braid, some are spooled up with fluorocarbon. At this price point, if you want to take that rod to the next level, the first thing that you do is put braided line on it. Your sensitivity will skyrocket. It will take any rod and make it play one step above where it just was. So that is a great note. It really does make a big difference. Now my next one up, I think I'm gonna go here. This right here, Savage Gear Squad, paired up with the SLX. Now specifically I put an SLX XT on here. That might have cheated the price by a few bucks. It might not have though. Okay. I don't remember offhand. But we're right there, we're close anyway. The Squad rod, I've been talking about the Squad a ton this year, specifically about the swim bait rod. That was the first one that I picked up. I picked up the 8-foot heavy, and I was so blown away at the quality of that rod that I then got an actual regular casting rod to try as well, because you're right there at that $100 mark. And I've lost track of how many videos we've said Savage Gear has totally stepped it up in the last few years.
Right.
Same with their rods. I am really, really happy with this rod. Paired up with an SLX, it's a fantastic combo. The benefit of the XT is this outside control. That's the step up. The difference between a standard SLX and an XT, you pay, I think it's $20 more, but that's what you're paying for, is that outside control. If it's in your budget, it's definitely worth the step up to have that ease of control.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned the Savage Gear stuff, because you know, 2020 was a year we'd all like to forget, right? 2021, right. Inventory reasons, it was the year for us to expand our own fishing stuff even more, because you can't get a lot of the stuff. So inventory's been a huge issue just throughout the year. So we've tried more, you know, Savage Gear. 13 Fishing's come a long way too. We like a lot of their stuff. Yep. So we have a lot of our videos are going to have those core key staples, stuff we've had in there for several years, and then some stuff that we're really, really impressed with. So glad you mentioned that. Next rod up for me, might as well go with the Dobbins Fury casting.
Mine as well.
You know, this specific rod is a 704, so 7-foot 4-power rod. A great universal rod. You can, I mean, you could crank on it if you wanted. You could throw top water on it. You could throw a jig on it. But it's a very universal rod. So if you're in this price point and you just want to get a couple rods, you know, those 4-power rods are very, very universal. But the Fury line, just like I said in the spinning, a very, very good rod. Great rod at this price point. Like I said, it kind of set the benchmark. Paired up with that's that Lose, the LFS, and blown away with this reel. You know, you can go read the reviews on Tackle Warehouse. They're all super positive. It's just a reel that lasts, still feels smooth after a few years. Very, very happy with that. So we went ahead and paired that as a great combo right there at that $200 price point. If you are looking to get into some more of the technique-specific stuff, maybe we'll link some of our favorite entry-level price point swim bait rods at this price point as well. But that whole Fury lineup is really, really good.
Yeah. Yeah, you nailed it. I mean, that is the benchmark. Everybody else started shooting at the Fury in those following years. And now there are some other really good options. But that was the first one where you're like, how did they pull that off at that price? My last one is this guy right here. St. Croix Bass X casting, paired up with a 13 Fishing. That's the Origin Chrome. This combo, essentially same story as Fury. They're amazing rods for the price, and you have options within that line. There are a lot of them, and they're great rods. There's a great jerkbait rod in there. There's a fantastic all-around heavy rod in there. Just some really, really good models. The reason why I paired it up with that chrome is that this is a really, really lightweight reel for its size. And I really like that for balancing out and for overall lightening up a fairly budget combo. One of the biggest differences besides sensitivity with budget gear versus high-end gear is the overall weight of the gear. So anytime you can cut a little bit of weight, it just gets more comfortable in the hand and it's easier to fish with all day long.
Yeah, the Bass X, the Fury, the SLX, the Squad, all these rods are phenomenal rods for the price point. You know, a few years ago there wasn't anything nearly as nice as this stuff in that price point. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up with the SLX combo. You know, I can't say enough good things about the SLX. They're coming after the Fury. You know, like I said, the Fury set that mark, and Shimano came out and said, hey, we want something that's really good at that price point, and they killed it with the SLX. You know, they launched this a couple years ago. I mean, how can you go wrong with the SLX? It's matchy-matchy. That's the hardest thing. You know, you want to throw say you want to throw an SLX reel on a Dobbins, you're like, blue and green. Can I put a blue reel on a neon green red and green? So if that stuff bugs you, you know, the matchy-matchy stuff, the SLX combo is a really, really good combo.
Now, last but not least, I want to pick this guy up off the ground here. Are you? Oh, no, I'm sneaking one more in there on you. So you did mention that in 2020 there were all sorts of issues with stock and availability. That is very much still the case this year. So some of these items, as we'll link them all in the video description, like I said, some of these items may not be available. They may sell out and that's the end of it. A lot of them you can back order. Some you can't. So if you see that it's out and next to that that's an open box, you can place a back order. If that box has a question mark in it, you just can't back order it. You just have to wait until they come back. But a lot of things can be back ordered, which is what we've had to do the last 2 years with all sorts of things. We were just talking earlier today about a reel that we've had on order. I ordered a reel 2 years ago and still don't have it. It's insane. But that's the struggle. And that's why I don't know whether or not I like that reel. I can't get my hands on it.
Yeah, it's been hard. It's
been hard.
It's stretched us as anglers because you have those tried and true things that you want to grab off the rod rack and you're like, oh, I'm gonna try this one this time because I can get it, I can fish it,
it's available,
I can recommend it. So it's been tough.
But it's also been very eye-opening. We found all sorts of gems that I don't think we ever would have taken the time to even look at in the past, and that's been amazing. So with that, I have one more item for you. All these combos stayed right around that $200 mark. If you want to take that next step, if you want to advance, I said the first thing you could do is add braid to any reel. It will take that rod to the next step. This is breaking the price point, but this is the Shimano SLX 70 MGL. If you want to break the price point, but you're afraid to make that full leap into the next category, this reel is ridiculous for the price. I don't know what the deal is with these MGL models that keep coming out, but every single one of them, all the way through the price point, from the Metanium to the Corrado down to this guy, they are all mind-blowing. You will instantly be able to cast farther and work baits completely differently. I mean, it is unbelievable the difference that a reel can make. You take a topwater and you know how far you can throw it. Well, you switch reel and gain 15 yards. It's nuts. So if you want to advance and you don't want to make a full leap, I can't say enough good things about that SLX MGL. We'll link that as well. Hopefully it is available, it at least was. But that's a really good starting place for you if you want to take that next leap.
Yeah, and 70 the 70 size might sound small. It is super comfy in the hand. Like I ordered a few of them because I like that. I have fairly large hands and I just like it's a little bit smaller in the hand, but you get a little bit less line capacity, but you can dial that thing. You can send, it's crazy.
Unreal.
I mean, it's really cool. So yeah, I agree with everything you just said.
And with that, guys, we're gonna wrap this one up. Again, if you missed our first buyer's guide, you can drop back to that one. We'll link it in the video description. With every one of these buyer's guides, If there's room in the description, sometimes we use up all the room helping you guys out. But if there's room, we'll give you the previous buyer's guides and some of the ones to come. We'll do the best we can to help you. Again, tomorrow will be $300 combos. If you guys are enjoying this series, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll talk to you soon.